Good morning, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Speak On It. I am your host, Biv. I got my man Tim One with me today. We have a guest that's scheduled to come on, but things happen. So if they come on, we'll bring him on. We'll introduce him, and we'll continue the topic of conversation. And today we were talking about the power of the black dollar. Um, Black people, you know, we love to spend money. Let's just be real. We love to spend money. We love to look good. We love to smell good. And majority of the time, we want the best of the best. So you may see uh, a rundown house with a luxury car in front of it. That's just how we get down. We love to look good. You know what I mean? So I was just looking around because I live in Laurel. If you don't know, Laurel is it's a pretty impoverished community. It's in a pretty impoverished town. But you look around, even in certain neighborhoods, you wouldn't know. You know what I mean? You wouldn't think that poverty was as big of a problem as it truly is because of the way people dress. People will look and live beyond their means. You know, most people are living paycheck to paycheck anyway. But we just wanted to get into uh, our spending power. Um, I know, Taman, you watch a lot of TV just like I watch a lot of TV. Almost every commercial got black culture. The music is black culture. No matter what the product is that they're trying to sell, no matter who the target audience is, hip hop music is a part of the whether it's a beat from the 80s, 90s, or it's an actual just a new artist. Think about it. My kid, my youngest daughter is 8. For a little while, her favorite song was Whoop There It Is. Whoop There It Is. I don't play Whoop There It Is, but you know why? She loved the commercial. Sprinkles. She loved the commercial. She loved the commercial. I'm like,
Right.
man, that is crazy. I'm like, that is crazy to think about the influence that hip hop, black culture, has. And I'm like, but they don't advertise towards us. And then we're calling them out to the carpet about advertising towards us. You know what I mean? Like you using our music to make your money.
Right.
You'll take our money to build your company, but you won't make products specifically for us or make advertisements specifically for us, man. What's your thoughts?
Um. I mean, I think that for one, good morning to everyone. Uh, as far as that is concerned, it the I mean, less the majority of the population isn't black in America. So I mean, they gotta go with what I guess makes sense. At the same time, we as black people need to have the mindset of not being so consumerish and being on the mindset of being producers. Um, I mean, it like you said in these areas that you go to, whether it be Laurel or maybe even a big city like Atlanta, like there's the tail and I mean the ones that consume are the ones that you pitch to that are going to want those products, and unfortunately on a lot of how can you put it, you're not what happened, and you're not necessarily building up what you need to build up. I mean, they it's, Yeah, it's a lot I could say about that.
Man, go, man, speak on it, man. That's why we here.
I mean, think about it. 1% of the media that's what is it? 1% of the advertising market is black owned. That's just crazy. You're telling me that 99% has control of the advertising market and control of what we actually see as far as advertising is concerned. So they control the narrative like that. That's absurd for that number to be so high as far as 99% compared to as far as black. That in itself is a problem.
I'm with you, bro. I'm with you. Um, I had a thought, but as you were talking about, controlling the narrative and different things like that. Like we, of course, we are the minority here
Mm-hmm.
in this country. That goes without saying. But we have a lot of influence. You know what I mean? We have a lot of influence, but it's how we use that influence. You know what I mean? Every time it was like every time something happened over the pandemic, we just wanted to boycott everything, right?
Mm-hmm.
Boycott. Somebody disrespected us, we boycotting. But some of us are really into those products. Some of us are really into those brands, and we weren't gonna get on the same page. Is it that we need to boycott these brands, or that we need to use our money to support other brands anyway? Because I don't know what it is that we need to do. Because I seen it was it? I think it was Jim Jones that was doing an interview where he was talking about basically urban brands were knockoffs of luxury brands. And I'm not really sure how a lot of people took that. I wish my man Jeff Benson was here because I know he would have something to say about that. You know what I mean? But it was
My
Jim
internet is
Jones that
acting
was
up, man. My fault, man.
you good, bro. You good, bro.
I'm
I'm
pissed.
great.
I missed everything.
Xfinity everywhere. I don't really care where you at. But now I was just talking about boycotting and different stuff,
Okay.
and how do we need to put our money just into black brands, or do we need to continue to just boycott certain brands? Because again, I was talking about it was a video clip that I seen of Jim Jones
Mm-hmm.
where he was basically saying that you know the hip hop brands, clothing lines were
Mm-hmm.
just basically knockoffs of, I guess you could say, non-urban brands. I guess that's the best way to say
Yeah.
urban brands. You know what I'm saying? Or because I don't want to say high end, because majority of them weren't high end,
Mm-hmm.
but they were just urban brands. Like that mentality there is that a problem that a black man would say those were just knockoffs? And is that a problem?
It's the mentality behind it. I mean, because when we think about luxury brands, we've been taught that the luxury brands are the most expensive. The designers are from Italy, Gucci, whatever. You know what I mean? Like, and as far
Hey,
as hey,
good morning.
Good morning, bro.
you just pop in just like that, huh?
Hey,
um,
our apologies. Technical difficulties on this side.
yeah, I'm having some as well, so I understand. But like we have to have the mindset of starting to support our own regard, because we actually set the culture. If you want to be frank, like you were just talking about as far as the music and the advertising and whatnot, and they're using the hip hop songs and whatnot, that
Hmm.
influence needs to be changed to where we as a whole have to start having a mindset of saying, since we set the culture, how about we set our own trends by investing in our own communities? And I mean, like, but other people in other places, as far as we're talking about Jim Jones, I mean, he's from Harlem. So you think about the culture that they grew up in, you know what I mean? We watched Paid in Full and whatnot. It was all Gucci. It was all designer. That was the 80s. That's what the hustlers did, you know what I mean? With the fly cars, all of that. And that's what they inherited. But at the same time, you can inherit something and still be able to influence and change the culture. One of the things that he does, he has his own clothing line. And I'm pretty sure that him having that clothing line, he would want somebody to support him. You know what I mean? So in turn, I know his mindset has had to have changed if he's seeing himself as a brand and saying like, okay, we can come together. Me as a, I think he's black and I don't know, he's all the way. I
Oh
don't know
no,
what he's a minority,
they got some
I,
sort of Latino. He's got some sort of Latino
yeah,
blood
but
running through him as well.
he's part of the culture. I mean, think about it. Jay-Z transition from selling everybody else's brand to like, y'all crazy if y'all don't support Puff.
right.
That, that I mean, it happens. I mean, people are young, but mindsets change, and we hope that they do change. But like you said, as far as it being wrong, I mean, to each his own. Me, I'm not doing that. I would rather support black businesses. I'm trying to look for ways that I could support black businesses. As far as the things that I wear, I mean, of course, it's a dominated market. So one thing that has to happen is there needs to be a change in the mindset as far as, like I said, being producers, like understand the games that everybody is playing and see how you can get in your own lane. I mean, how does I don't know, Levi's make their jeans or whatever? Like there has to be someone that has to want that vision
Mm.
and mass produce it and have it to where people support at the end of the
I'm with you, bro.
Absolutely.
I'm with you. All right, now we have our guest here with us. Brother, can you just go ahead and introduce yourself? Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Hey, yeah. And good morning, everybody. I do apologize. I have technical difficulties on my side. My name is Brahman. I go by Peace. And I'm from In Style Fashions, clothing store here in Wilmington, Delaware. And we exclusively sell independent brands. So this is a market that the group and Tamar was just speaking on, talking about looking at what we're putting our dollars into and what are brands that we're making popular. And looking at fashion as the carrot to providing that residual income for the community, because fashion is what we're all into. I mean, it's a part of our culture. It's taken over everything that we do, from the music to sports to business. And In Style Fashions is just created a platform for other entrepreneurs, beauty service technicians, and people who do beauty services as far as manicures, nails, as well as people who create different products that are also involved in your presentation, hair oil, lotions, body butters, even going to the extent of creating sea moss. So In-Style Fashions is involved in two things. One, fashion and presentation, looking at health and conscious of who's creating the products that we're getting. And two, showcasing entrepreneurship and trying to build uh, uh, a following for people to grow off of.
Excellent, excellent. And it was interesting that you spoke about beauty supply stores and different things of that nature. That is a market that we completely dominate as African Americans. I think I was reading something where we basically represent like almost like 50% of the spending market of beauty supply products, even though we only represent 12% of the nation. We represent 50% of spending in that market. Now, again, we're talking about the power of the black dollar here. And let's be honest with ourselves here. You know, I know they went on a stop Asian hate campaign, but let's be real.
Yeah.
They control the market of beauty supply products in our community. How do we go about changing that, putting not only just black products out there, but entrepreneurs such as yourself opening beauty supply stores within our community? Because I don't know anything about that industry, so I don't even know the first step to take. But I know there's a lot of young African American males and females that love makeup, whether it's doing makeup, whether it's doing hair, you know, whatever it may be. That is a field that they would probably love to get into, but they probably don't even know the first steps into getting into that industry.
And you said it right there, the process, knowledge, the information, and that along with what Taman was touching on, really the interest and the drive to really want to know, to go down to the bottom, not to, because we do have, there's people who in the community and elsewhere that do sell the beauty products, and they sell the, like the hair and things like that. But it's all sold from a distributor or wholesaler that's here, that's kind of already completed the task of finding it, creating the brand. So they're more so a middleman to a vendor who's already established. To be able to change that and really, have your own market and looking at all manufacturing, going down to who actually provides the raw materials. That's where you gotta go. That's where that trying to dig deeper, and there is a route to go back to the source. But it's one thing, knowledge and connection. If you don't have the knowledge of the process of how, it's going to be hard to find where the source came from if you don't know exactly how it was made and where it's from. And if you're not connected, if you don't have the access to get there or to speak to the people who have it, or even have the notoriety to have that kind of conversation, then you're going to be your thought or your plan to actually go back to controlling that whole market is going to be hard to do, because you're missing even the know-how to have that conversation.
I'm with you. Someone, anything?
I was saying, I was thinking, like when he was talking, one of the things I was thinking about was that we've talked about this behind closed doors, as far as the numbers in the beauty market, and how that in itself is a income, or how would you say it? Either way, it's a $1 billion industry, right? And with Brahman saying about going deeper, you can go as deep as you want to with the internet. And what I mean by that is me just trying to figure out ways and whatnot. I went on a web search myself and end up with some number from some country in India. And granted, I'm not in a position to take those steps, but it's just like, if you want the knowledge is out there. Absolutely. And it's just a matter of how bad you want it. Like, exactly. I mean, it's what you, if you want to go that way, dive deep. And the resources is out there, like he said, even that's around. And you can just use the resources that you have. You have that smartphone, use it.
Absolutely, man. Technology today is really remarkable to think about. You know, the things that you can access almost immediately. That's why I get mad with my kids when they be like, "I don't know." I'm like, "Yeah, you should Google it, YouTube." I fix stuff around the house that I've never thought I could fix because of YouTube. Just being real. Just being real. Save me some dollars.
Right.
Advertising. It's weird because we don't want to be offended, right?
Mm-hmm.
We don't want to be offended by the advertising. We don't want to feel like, hey, man, that was just a little too black. Like, that was almost racist. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, we still want to see us represented in products. Like, it was funny. Me and Angie the other night. My wife, she works in energy. So she's always giving out energy education, and she had started doing this probably maybe like a year ago. She was doing the cold. She was on the cold water campaign, right? And then all of a sudden, Steve Austin, Stone Cold, and Ice-T, that's what they doing. Cold calls for Ty, right? So my wife is like, I need a piece of that, right? And I'm like, you know what? Forget it. I ain't doing no more Procter & Gamble. And then I was like, you know what? I can't say that. Procter & Gamble make almost everything. I looked at my house and literally, I couldn't boycott Procter & Gamble. It's not possible. It's not possible for me to boycott Procter & Gamble. They own me at this point. They own me. But you are starting to see a change in the direction as far as advertisement. You're starting to see more interracial families.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? You might see a black mom and a white dad and mixed children on television, where that wasn't something that you would see before. Is it because we are putting their feet to the fire, or is it because they're saying they really do spend a lot of money?
I think it's a combination of both. And the reason why I say that is because it may seem like presentation to where, like, we're going to make it seem like we're bigging them up, but at the same time, we understand how much they have as far as buying power. And I mean, you're talking about $1.8 trillion slated to be in 2024 as far as spending power.
Mm-hmm.
You gotta, I mean, just putting colors all to the side. Like, okay, how can we get this money? Pretty much.
You got to tap. You got to. What? I don't know. I don't know the young lady's name, man. But she said you got to tap in.
Tap in.
Tap in.
So I mean, that information as far as the 1.8 trillion can come twofold though, and meaning by that is the spending power. What does that entail? Like, the spending power is including credit as well, right? So how are we leveraging the spending power? Because we're not talking about saving power. We're not talking about investing power. We're talking about spending power.
It's the actual customer. I think that is, I think that's a factor to it at 100%. Because in business is all about growth. How you grow business is your income, how many customers you have, and supporting and keeping your customer. And when we had this turn of what do you want to call it, the making up revolutions now, but the internet, social media revolution, when you have knowledge that is just readily available, information that you can just look up, like to mine, you looking up, how can I look into getting a certain product, and you get a phone number from somebody in India. When you have information that's that readily available, and I think, where you were talking about advertising earlier, we can make commercials, we can make the news, we can have podcasts, we can make shows about whatever topics that we want to, and have people listen and have people interested and in tune with what we're saying. Since that's available now, we have the information to know, okay, the numbers and the facts that we have that we didn't before. So since we know that, and we know that, it's like, all right, they have understanding of now how much they're actually spending and what the market looks like. So to speak, people that's awake, and there's more growing numbers of people talking about what we're talking about. So now it's like, all right, in order to keep these dollars, we're going to have to show them representation, because they're seeing that back in the day, the Tommy Hilfiger thing, and of like, oh, they don't represent us and things like that. That was, more so word of mouth, and you didn't know. Now you got Jay-Z's, like I'm saying, hey, used to do Cristal, but they was racist. Now I'm on to the spade. Now you got it all in media. Now we starting to get more information about it. So now we're up on it. And now we got these phones and things where we can just readily find information, go to Google, and now and social media. So information is spread a whole lot faster. So seeing how things are exposed and things are starting to be transparent. Yeah, like you gotta start looking at business. Where's my dollars coming from? It's coming from this community. They're starting to know that they're spending money on me, and I'll be trying to quote numbers about with fashion. Looking at that market, we're 80%, man. 80%. We like dominate in spending. So looking at that customer base, you gotta keep it. You can't lose that. So I think partly to keep the money, and secondly to start to get the narrative of what is normal for the younger generation. Looking at, hey, I'm going to start pushing things in media now, so it can be looked at as, status quo moving forward.
There's some things that shove on you. They don't just push it; they shove it.
Oh,
there's no coincidence that you could be watching your favorite show and your TV is on volume 7, and when the commercial comes on, the TV goes to volume 1000. There's no coincidence. There's no coincidence. You know what I'm saying? They definitely are trying to get your attention. As y'all was talking, I got to thinking. You know what I mean? We love cars, but we do not make them.
When you say we,
blacks,
because they got cars over in Africa.
I'm talking about here, bro. I don't live over there.
I know, but hear me out though.
I'm with you with that.
If they have those in Africa, and you have, like, of course you got to know who you're working with, but at the same time, like, if you see someone that looks similar to you that's in this industry, why not try to help them broaden their horizon? I mean, I'm thinking, of course, I'm not on that level, and I can't. I haven't made a trip to Africa to talk to any car dealerships or car owners, but I mean, it's out there. It's just a matter of what the top, I would say, money earners when it comes to us are doing.
And I'd say I agree with you on that, because looking into that, whatever the business is, but talking about cars, it costs money. Manufacturing, like yeah, and honestly, I've always said, man, I'm gonna make cars one day, Jackson Motors, and but yeah, man, to actually get there, it's an uphill.
Yeah, I was just looking into it. I was like, you know what? I don't know of any, as far as on American soil, as much as, think about it. Some people might own 3-4 cars. Let's be real.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Rappers, I've heard songs, you know what I mean? Juvenile said he got a car for every day of the week.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And I was just like, that's a market
Mm-hmm.
to which we put a lot of money into.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't think anyone's receiving anything on the back end of that. Nobody's seeing any revenue from that market. We can tap into other markets, but that is a market that we don't see anything. We got car salesmen. Shout out to my homeboy Slim. Shout out to my man Keith Moore, slinging cars all over Delmarva. Slinging cars all over Delmarva. But we don't manufacture them. And it was just weird to think, like, man, that's something that I don't hear people get into, even thinking about, but I mean, and it was the same thing.
That's different. The thing is that you have the mentality to think like, we don't do that. If it's more of that type of mentality, then you can have those that are in the schooling or positions that have more knowledge in those areas, auto technicians, whatever the case may be, of going deeper and finding out, okay, how is it that we can make the body of it? You know what I mean? Okay, let's get a model going and start the process and continue the process. I mean, Gerald Ford, or whatever his name is, Ford, that's a president. Henry Ford. I mean, he had to start somewhere. And I mean, it all starts with an idea. So like that idea, hopefully that can spark some young 17, 18-year-old junior, senior in high school to maybe change what he's thinking, his trajectory. And you know what I mean? Just knowing that, like Dom said, as far as capitalism, there has to be help. Like, you can't do everything
on your own. Absolutely.
You know what I mean? And we have to work within this capitalistic system. First, it starts with an idea. Then you got to have the drive to go forward. And then you got to be able to know when it's time to lean on people or figure out what you don't have and come together as a team. So,
agreed.
That's big. As you that summed it all up, huh?
But there needs also to be like capital, and I say, like,
yes, man.
We talk about Jay in the culture, and he has the I don't know the name of his Duce, and he's got Ace of Spade, but it's producing, but it's not. It's still on a kind of consumer based level, like yeah, it's great. Not knocking him at all for it. You know what I mean? Get your money.
You saying he not distilling it? Is that what you're saying?
What you mean? Not distilling it, but
Like he's not actually.
is he?
He don't have the chemist in there cooking up the batch. Is what you're saying.
Right. Like he's bought stake in that. He's bought shares in that. But like, has it been like? I think the Ace of Spades was here before him. So it's got to be a change of mindset first, in my opinion, as far as just wanting to change this narrative of the black dollar not being quote unquote in the neighborhood or circulated or even just having that. Even just the numbers got to make you change the mindset, and then that can just spark off different people, and just a matter of helping people. To be quite honest,
Right.
I'm rambling right now.
Man, listen, that mindset change and that drive to go after it is that's partly, the thinking process of, trying to develop it and really showcasing, what we're doing and, being in the community, seeing the youth, seeing the children, and then, trying to really reach out to have classes and then sessions to build them to have their own LLC. So we look at and respect everybody right now, all Black and prominent and showcased people that we see in public, from sports to, music to, different industries that are mainstream. But we don't really see anybody mainstream that's in business and manufacturing. So that's partly why we're not getting those thoughts of building those cars of, hey, I'm going all the way back to distilling it, because we really look at, and we refer to Jay-Z a lot because he is one person, Black, that's not African, that's Black African. He's
Black African.
Yeah, but he's at a point in status that he can make moves and control things, but they're not really, you don't really see, and this goes back to media, you don't really see anybody who is billionaire Black that is just done it straight business, that hasn't been a part of some type of sports or entertainment, industry. So trying to really grow and expand on that you don't have to be a billionaire to start your manufacturing. You can start in manufacturing and start small. You can be a billionaire off of business. You can start getting things to be mainstream, and that goes with advertisement. Trying to see people who have done it and let them showcase people who have done it. That's more than just people who are in entertainment, that I made money off entertainment. So in order for me to do that, first I gotta be a basketball player, then I can do it. Or in order for me to do that, I gotta be an actor, make a lot of money, and then I can do it. Because that's all they really show us, that, the people who have done other industries. So we start looking at trying to push, you can go right to that business and do it. Then I think it'll be more people that, want to go to those industries and start small to build big.
I'm with you. I'm gonna change it up. I'm gonna switch it up just a little bit. We're talking about the power of the Black dollar. Is it time, because we're talking about money, talking about putting money in the places? Is it time to invest our money into our own political party?
Oh, he went deep.
Because let's not sit here and act like campaigns and politicians don't run on dollars. We can't pretend that that's not factual.
You sound like
And let's
Dr. Claude Anderson, man.
and let's not pretend that whether it's red or blue, they don't have our best interest in heart.
Yeah.
I don't care if they're red or blue, they don't have our best interest at heart. So
Yeah.
that it's time for us to take our money and put our money into our own politicians. Again, this is something that we were talking about. We're talking about black spending power. We're talking about the power of the black dollar. We're talking about creating things for ourselves through money, through dollars.
Mhm.
It's time to put our money into black politicians. It's time to put our money into a black political party to represent us.
I'm with you. I feel as though we're in America, and there is structure, and the structure of America is through the politics. Even down to me getting licensing to have nail technicians and things, I got to go through the platforms. I got to go through, licensing to be approved for things. Everything is politics. That's just the way that this country is set up. And if we're talking about really now looking at manufacturing, we're talking about media and advertising, we're talking about really setting us a market and a hold over what is being distributed. We're going to have to be at the table. We're going to have some way or someone that's there to know what's going on, because the laws, from import export to the cost of doing business to the cost of I want to say like distribution in whatever area you're in, is all going to fall down to the political game. And if we really want any type of valuable voice, then I think it should come from people who are put into place with our interests, because that's what they do. That's what the game is now. Everybody who's in position is being funded by some type of corporation. We need to create these corporations. We need to do that. And we need to create these networks, and we need to start creating it from the bottom up, just like Henry Ford did. He started making a car instead of making a faster horse. Just like Johnson and Johnson did, just like Walton family did. They started small. We're at that place in society where we can start that. And Style Fashions can speak on it. Can be this. This is the beginning of what can be the controllers of a market.
As far as supporting, you said to support politics runs America.
Absolutely.
And in order for things to change, of course, we're going to have to support. But what is the agenda that we're supporting? That's key.
Oh, absolutely. We're not just going to throw our money behind any idiot off the street. But again, this goes back to the investing. The same way there's got to be guys out there that want to start. Well, I'm sorry. There's got to be guys and gals out there that want to start their own car company.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
There's the same ones that want to be political science majors and get into that field. You know what I mean? But we just can't. I'm just not gonna go out and buy any car just because it's black owned. I can't. I shouldn't just throw my money behind any politician just simply because we share the same melanin. You know what I mean? So again, that comes back to research, doing your due diligence behind the scenes in order to make the right investment. So I'm with you.
I think there has to be a grooming process. I mean,
Absolutely.
and it starts with the youth. I mean, excuse me. I've told you before that I commend you as far as working with the youth and whatnot, because you have a pivotal position. Like you're in charge of the future, and the future starts with that seed, which is the youth.
That's
And
right.
how are they directed, and how is their mindset directed, and what is their perception on things, and how they see things and how they want to change things can mold our leaders. So if we're talking
Yeah.
about even establishing a political party, we got to think of it long term. Like, okay,
Mhm.
is there this young college or young guy or young girl that's going to HBCU, that's a political science major, that she's for people and she wants to do something right, and just be behind her. And granted, you don't like search them out or
Like,
whatever, but at the same
right.
time, like it starts like it has to be a community type thing. It has to be a team effort. I mean, from the professors all the way down, like there has to be a end goal, right?
Mhm.
And where it gets
Gotta have
twisted,
that.
I guess, is when the money gets involved. To be quite honest, I mean,
Yeah.
like, and like, yeah, begin with the end in mind. Like that's
Absolutely.
if you're wanting change, of course, it may not happen immediately, but we were affected by the elders that taught us. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
some people can say that people may have did things the right way, the wrong way, but at the same time, now we're at the age to where we can impart whatever
Right.
knowledge that we have onto the next. And it's just a matter of what the youth want to accept and what seeds will be accepted to see a change. So as far as putting our money behind, I mean, I'm all with it.
Yeah.
I'm always with it. I'm always wanting to see people that look like me succeed, and that will help the cause of all of us to succeed at the end of the day.
You guys have it right now. You guys have what is needed. The turn of any what's said culture or society is the information that spread. Back in the day, just looking at a reflection of history, they used to go to a place called Thebes to get the news down in Africa. That's where everybody around the world, they went through Thebes to learn new things or to get the information. This was the stream of, we want to call it broadcasting. That's what you guys got it. Like we're in a state, well, not physical state, but we're in a era where if we want to do that, we can do it because now we can control what's being spread. We can control that information, and to get youth, to get people to start thinking in a certain way. It's all about media. Media primary purpose is to coordinate that behavior. So from what we learned, we were, 80s, 90s. So our generation, we learned something from TV, but we learned a lot from what we were experiencing. Now, man, you'll sit on TikTok for 2 hours and then look up like you've been in a time warp. Man, we got the control to start spreading that narrative. And once we do showcase those things that, hey, or excuse me, looking into politics and showing that as something this is something that is what we want to go to, and then put it in a nice little TikTok dance, and make it. I'm going to do politics, and then you got to dance with it, and
It
we
went
just
viral.
yeah, we just embedding that in people's brains, and that I'm going to be a president dance, and now we got presidents in it. But man, that's just how I see information and ideas being spread, like TikTok, not just TikTok, but social media altogether. It's religion now. People do this thing religiously. They believe in these memes, man. They believe in these videos, and you can't tell them no different. It's controlling the minds of the people. It's creating culture. So, through the years, we look at, with controlling. Back in the day, it was religion. It was the gods, and people did exactly what it says. And then move forward, it turned into laws. And, people follow laws. That's how you control the people. And now it's social media. It's what we're doing now. Now this is the religion. Religion is what you do religiously. It's not always, about what you believe. Well, it is 100% what you believe in, but I wouldn't always compare it to like the Lord and things like that. It's just what you are committed to, what you believe in, and you do consistently. And that's what that's what creates your lifestyle. That's what creates your mind frame. And once someone has control of that, once you can direct that and control that, you control the people.
I'm with you, bro. I'm gonna change it up just a little bit again.
Hey, man.
Hey, what they switch like Martin like Martin back on the house party. Switch.
Right. I was saying the same thing, Dom, as he was talking. I was like, man, he's like verbatim from 2 weeks ago, what we was talking about.
Man, like-minded, man.
Exactly. I was thinking about us as consumers in the Black community. Why we always looking for a discount?
Oh man, I love my people.
Because we feel like it's family.
We always need that hookup. Right? We always need that hookup, man. Like it was so funny, and I'm not coming at nobody. You know what I'm saying? First of all, I'm not counting nobody else's money. I don't know your financial situation. Maybe you need that discount to get something done. Okay, but I seen a post and it was like, man, I need a person, but I need a decent price. Then you don't need the person. Mm-hmm. You've already put the stipulation on what it is that you're looking for. And I know it's cliche. You get what you pay for. So if you're looking for cheap labor, you're looking for a cheap product, that is exactly what you're going to get. Mm-hmm. So if you want something that is of quality, you're gonna have to pay for it. I get sick and tired of seeing entrepreneur friends having to explain their prices to people. Yeah, that irks my nerve because Nike doesn't.
No, not at all.
Nike never has to explain to you why their shoes is $150. They never had to explain it to you. Never had to explain that to you. If you call my homeboy Keith Shanks, he owns a cleaning company. Shout out to my man Keith Shanks. I constantly see him have to post like, y'all don't call Stanley Steamer and say, man, what specials you got? What discount can I get from you? Like we have to, we as a community, we have to stop looking at our brother and sister and say, that's my brother and sister. Give me that hookup. Right. You know what I mean? Shoot me that discount. And you as entrepreneurs, stop having to explain yourself. Stop explaining yourself. This is my price. Either you're gonna pay it or you're gonna go find somebody else that's gonna do it for the number that you want. Mm-hmm. That's just my piece on it.
I mean, we're in a capitalist society, unfortunately. So I mean, that's how things go. I mean, it's unfortunate that we as a culture have that mindset. Well, I ain't gonna say we, but there's some that have that mindset of always wanting a discount. And it's about the way that you see the representation. Like you see each other as family. So you're gonna think that, oh, you're gonna hook me up. But we got to take emotions out of it. At the end of the day, they're a business. They're a business the same way Nike, the same way Nautica the same way, Polo, whatever the case may be. You pay for that price because you have the quality in that product. You can't slight your brother and sister just because they look like you and think that their product should be discounted. No, they've worked hard and did the due diligence to make their product what it is, and it's of a value that they know that 9 times out of 10, it's actually probably more worth more than what they're actually charging. But you're asking for a discount on top of the discount that they probably have in mind, because they're like, I'm trying to get it to a price to where it appeal to people, but at the same time, like, I know that there's levels to this. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And the consumer mindset with us, as far as that is concerned, it is bothersome. And I mean, there needs to be a switch of that, like the same way that the services that are provided from whoever at the mall can be the same services provided over here in this boutique.
Absolutely.
Right.
Absolutely.
I get you. I'm with you. And I see there's couple things that I see, just involving the pricing and the consumer expectations is one thing, the popularity, which is well understood. Nike, it's popular. Okay, I'm willing to spend that. And then I'm wearing this. This is one of the brands, Jiggy, and it's a nice shirt. This looks like a polo kind of shirt. And so people would pay if this was polo, they'd pay $50 for this shirt. This shirt I think is like $30. And they're like, man, every day is I hear so what can I get for free? Or
for free?
I don't know.
For free?
I don't know. I don't got that, but I got like $20. It's like, I mean, you're not going to Macy's and doing that. You're not going in Boscov's. You're not going in the Villa, or you're not asking them these questions. Why? So you got to treat it the same. So one, absolutely, is when we get comfortable around us. Mm-hmm. When it's us, when we see us, we get comfortable. Yeah. And that comes from just that being impelled in our brain, how we act when we're in certain places. But when it's like, hey, it's us. And then too, it's the respect of the business, respecting that business, and knowing that you don't know how or the way it was priced. And in my store, I said it just about every day. Hey, the same fabrics that Tommy Hilfiger and Calvin Klein use, they get the same fabric, the same way that it's made. They're made the same way. So the prices should actually be higher, but in respect that, we don't got all the 90s rappers that have worn
your margin.
I mean, you're pricing it at a reasonable price for the market too, for the market that you're selling to. And looking at the market that you're selling to, that's also, you gotta arrange your price. Because I do, in respect, see with people who talk about black businesses, it's like, hey, I'll come and support, but you ain't going to tax at me, or you ain't going to tax me for everything.
Now check this out though, right? So this is how the I would say the mind effect kind of works. Shaquille O'Neal, right? One of the biggest athletes, biggest basketball stars, had his basketball shoe in Walmart so it could be affordably priced. And people will be knocked for wearing Shaqs.
And the Shaqs.
And there's Shaquille O'Neal. And he's made $400 million, I think. But the target audience still would get teased. But he's like, in my mind, I didn't take the deal from Nike. I made my own and made it to where it was affordable to the people who were in my position when I was 10, 12, 14 years old coming up, to where I would want to have the latest superstar shoe, but I can't afford them. Now they're actually affordable and they're being sold, but at a
still not
supermarket.
good enough, and they're
And
still
they're
not good enough.
good. Yeah,
Still not good enough.
It's in the market that unfortunately, but there was people who purchased it. There were, and it may not have been a lot of African Americans, but that man still made $400 million off of him trying to, you know what I mean? And him not even slighting himself, but just saying, you know what, I'm redirecting this platform that I have to where I can be able to make a shoe that influenced somebody of my age that was in the same position that I was in mentally, that like, I can't afford these shoes, but I can afford these. You know, and Shaquille O'Neal is like, come on now. This is Shaquille O'Neal. He's a brand all in himself.
Right. If you become one name,
yeah,
right. You made it. If you're just one name, you've made it. We don't even need it. You say Shaq, you know exactly what you're talking about. So
hey, I was like that. So I ain't even, when I seen Shaq's in Walmart, I was like, nah. And look, check this out though. I ended up getting Team Jordans out of all things. Like what? I ain't even get the regular Jordan. I got the team joint. So it's like, yo, I was just all the way messed up in the head, man. I might as well just went with Shaq, bro. He's my favorite player anyway. Right. I might as well. I'm sorry, Mom. You could probably save you about $40, $50, man.
Man, you know, fashion, we control that, man. I remember I used to like remember South Pole for a while, for a minute there. We wore South Pole.
I had some South Pole.
We didn't. And it was like
I had a South Pole sweater. I definitely
I had South Pole down.
Hey, listen, I was FUBU down, boy.
FUBU, and that's another one.
I've been supporting black businesses for a very long time now that I think about it, man. Shout out to Damon John, man.
That's right.
Because, yo, I was, man, FUBU. What?
FUBU 05.
Yes.
Yep.
FUBU 05.
And it got to the point, man, that is we as the people, we set that standard. And then it got to the point where it was like, man, if you wore it, you got clowned. And I don't know who does it, where it comes from, but I'm telling you, it is something. I don't know who started it, who was in the backyard, and you know what I mean. They was getting ranked on. They ain't had nothing else. And be like, man, you got FUBU on. Like, who wears that? And then that spread around the world. Like nobody wear FUBU anymore.
Real quick. It was real quick. I'm gonna tell you. I'm gonna be honest, man. When they went to the Fat Albert phase. Yeah, I kind of fell back. I kind of fell back myself. But
they should have grew up. Like they should have went from the jerseys to like the they should have grew along with their age. I mean, they should have rode that wave of when Jay-Z started doing button ups.
But you know, fashion can change. Fashion can change overnight.
Very much.
I mean, you can go to sleep in something hot and wake up in the morning and it's trash, and you just purchased it the night before.
Hey, so ain't nothing like a basic.
We gotta control what is trash and what's not. That's the problem.
A basic polo golf shirt can rock any day of the week for me. It is standard the test of time.
You think about it. Everybody wanted jerseys at one point. Fabulous probably had 1,000 jerseys at one point, and now they're coming back.
I was about to say I still do.
It's weird.
Listen,
man, it's just the way fashion. If I would say if you can fit it, don't throw it away, because it's probably going to come back.
Yeah,
just being real. If you can fit it, don't throw it away, because it's probably going to come back. It's just the way that fashion works.
I seen a Randall Cunningham jersey the other day for like $60. I was like, is it really?
I would have purchased it.
But man, listen, I was like, listen, does it have the Mitchell and Ness? Because I don't need no
Man, at this point, man, it doesn't matter. Everybody sells jerseys, man. I don't even like Fanatics. Who would have thought that brand would be what it is? You know what I mean? Now Fanatics controls the market for sports apparel.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
available.
But anyway, that is our show for today.
Oh man, you ain't got nothing else, man.
I got nothing else. We're just gonna do final thoughts and call it a wrap, bro. Honestly, this hour went by fast though.
It did.
Well, definitely, I appreciate welcome me on, and I enjoyed myself here, man. What you guys got going on is phenomenal. You have control, like I said, man. You guys have the you have the arc, so you can take us wherever you want to. And I thank you again. Having In Style Fashions on. Anybody out there, check us out. 2 South Harrison Street, Wilmington, Delaware. In Style Fashions. We got all independent brands, like the shirt I have on. It's a nice shirt. Jiggy is the brand. Also, you'll see a lot of other independent brands there, and other products that is from us. And we got to start, as Taman said, we got to start looking into supporting us and respecting the business. So with that business aspect, let's start growing together.
My final thought is I'm glad to have Peace on the show. Shalom. Of course, love linking up with my boy Biv. I'm glad that Peace didn't have too many big words for us today that I had to go in my bag to look up. So I appreciate that. My final thought for today is that when we're talking about the black dollar, we can talk about how much we feel about capitalism all day, but at the end of the day, America is a capitalistic society. And there's a scripture that comes to mind that, or maybe if I say if it's a scripture, I got to make sure I get it right.
You better.
Yeah. Let me see. I didn't know I had to go in my bag for. Okay. So, is it a scripture? Okay. So yeah. I knew it was. I just want to make sure I had my. So, I'm a follower of Yeshua, Jesus, and Matthew 10:16. One of the things that it says is to be shrewd as snakes and as innocent as doves. And what I mean by that, or my thinking of that, is that we have to have the capacity of changing the mindset and understanding how to work in this capitalistic society to where it benefits us as a people. And to be wise, but also understanding that you're in a position to help. You're always going to be in a position to help. Whatever knowledge you have, pass it on. Whatever you learn, pass it on, because that seed continues to grow and grow and grow. So whenever you're in that mindset of thinking that we as Black people can't get together and this and that, just be the slight change. And whatever you learn, pass it on to somebody else. Whatever information that you learn that you feel as though is pivotal to us being more or going towards a positive solution in things, just be that change. And it all starts with an idea. So why don't you plant that seed in people of that idea?
Amen.
I'm with you, bro. My final thought is don't be afraid to embrace your passions.
Amen.
And everything's needed. We can't get hair products for ourselves without chemists.
Yeah.
You feel me? So don't be afraid to embrace your passions. Again, I know people will be like, I don't know what you're going to do with that degree. Yeah, you can find something to do with it.
Mhm.
All right. There's something that you can do with it in today's day and age with technology. You can find something to do with your passion. So do not be afraid to embrace your passion. That is my final thought. I put my man Dom's final thought up there. He wasn't able to be with us today. He's got some issues going on with him, but he was still here to support. So that is our show for today. I want to thank my man Peace again for joining
Thank
us
you.
on
Thank you for
today.
having me.
You know what I mean? Follow us on Facebook. Follow us on our YouTube channel. Tamon, you got a plug?
Nah, I don't.
Let's see.
I guess
Man, you better
I'm not.
plug. You better plug. You better plug.
Yeah,
Go
tune
ahead.
in. Tune in Wednesday, 8 p.m. A seat at the dinner table with myself and my wife.
Amen.
So every other Wednesday, tune in. This show
All
coming
right.
up, we're talking about mental health. I'm an advocate.
Mental
My
health.
wife is
Hey,
an advocate. So
I'm into that.
what's on your mind?
everybody should be into that, because if you're not dealing with something mentally, I don't think you living.
Yeah.
Let's be real. Let's be
I
real.
say one last
Keep it
thing.
100.
Let's be
If you know-
real.
Yeah. I
Let's
say
be
one last thing. That's just any within anything, and I like what you said, Biv. If once you know the process, and to mine, you said it. Once you know the process, it's already done. The only thing you got to do is put the action to it. So with anything, once you know the process, it's done. It's already done. You just got to walk through it.
That man preaching
Absolutely.
today. All right. That man is preaching today.
All right.
Yeah.
So again, that is our show for today. Tamon, you said Wednesday at 11, right?
At 8.
I'm sorry, Wednesday at 8. I
Yeah,
apologize.
we're not up that late. Well, we
Wednesday,
are, but not.
Wednesday is the 11th, right?
Yes, Wednesday is the 11th.
That's where
yes,
Wednesday
yes.
is the 11th. So
Yeah.
Wednesday the 11th at 8 p.m. Join my man Tim One and his wife as they discuss mental health, which is always fun, in my opinion, because you get to learn a lot with mental health, and you get to see what other people is going through and experiencing, and you like, man, I had no idea that someone else was going through the same thing I was going through,
Yeah.
and it helps me out. So join them. It's gonna be some fun.
You'll definitely
Dom,
get a couple laughs.
you want to plug Love Walk, Love Talk, whatever what it's called? No, you good? I'm gonna plug. I'm doing something. I'm starting something on the 15th. Diary of a Black Stepdad podcast.
Yeah.
And
Man.
and I'm just gonna be talking. My first episode, I'm just gonna be talking about being a stepdad. You know what I mean? So
Hey man.
check me out. Check me out on the 15th. The 15th of August.
We'll do.
And we're gonna have some fun with that. Speak on It will be back on the 21st as we talk about critical race theory. I'm a teacher, so it's something that really touched me. So we're gonna talk about critical race theory on the 21st, man. Yes, sir. Oh, Love Walk is back,
so we
baby.
Back, baby.
Love Walk, we back, baby. So
I love it, man.
I love it. We got a lot of things going on, a lot of things going on. Check out my man Peace in his shop in Wilmington. Next time I come up, I will stop by my brother.
Check this out right there on the
and
corner.
check you out, man. And check you out.
One more plug. One more plug. Yeah. Peace.
Yes, sir.
You have a avenue for people who are looking for work, if I'm not mistaken, correct?
Yes, absolutely. Revolve Training and Staffing is a full staffing agency that provides work in a lot of different areas, from warehouse to truck driving to labor, industrial moving labor, carpenter, and workers who do installing. So if you're looking for work, come go to the revolvepage.com, fill out an application. Looking for style, go to InStyle Fashions LLC on Instagram. We'll be having an fashion show in October 10th, so be looking out for that. Right there on Lancaster, Main Strip, Lancaster and Harrison, right on the corner. You'll probably see me hanging outside, or my partner Rob. Come step in. But yeah, if anyone who wants more information about the jobs or work, you can also come past the store.
And send us that information, bro, so we can put it on our page as well. All right.
Absolutely.
All right. So that's our show for today. Until next time, speak on it. Peace.
Peace.